Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? So, as you see, we've got quite a crowd joining us this morning, which is a little bit different from how we've done in the past for the Board of Education. But we're excited. If you came to opening session, you could feel the excitement in the room about the school year and all that is to come. And Ricky thought it was going to be great for us to have a team approach to sharing with you the great things that are happening in our school district. And just like Dave's here, I moved here for our school district, and the experience my kids have has truly been unparalleled, and we're excited to hear from you and your team today. Ricky, so if you will, just share with us, we got a lot of people on this stage, and if you didn't notice any Swifties in the audience, you know, we got an album coming up, so our furniture just happened to match that. So October 3rd, for anybody that's interested, and it's like the showgirl, not a chamber girl, so my note card today went with the theme, but that's gonna fly right out the window. But let's talk about who we've got on the stage, and then we've got a lot of topics to cover, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Sound good?
Sounds great. Hey guys, it's great to be with you all. Listen, I have been coming to this event for years, and I just want to thank the Robbins Chamber for putting this on. The networking, you know, if you look around this room, this is why Houston County is successful. Right here, the folks in this room, we care about this community, and we each play a different role. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for your support of our school district. We are partners with you. And if there's any way we can help you, or you can help us, reach out to us, because we're here for you. Now, you know, I wasn't that impressed with the dad jokes this morning. Were you guys? Let's just keep it real for a minute. May I say a dad joke about Ron Weigel and Bankers?
Hey, do it. Come on.
And I felt a little bad because he was so kind to us. But you know, I wanted to share a dad joke about Ron Weigel and Bankers, but I lost interest.
I like it.
That wasn't much better.
You know, guys, let's be serious for a moment. I respect Bankers. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Who in here likes Ron Weigel?
I mean, God.
Okay. Who in here likes all the Bakers in the room?
All of them?
Let me tell you why I respect them. It takes real courage to charge overdraft fees while they look you straight in the face. So those are your dad jokes. Guys, I want to introduce the team. This district's amazing. We're hitting almost 31,000 students, and it takes a team to make it happen. And it's not about me. I don't want to be the face of the district. It's about the team. So let me start right here around this round table here, because we've got the best Board of Education in the state of Georgia. So if y'all will, when I call your name, stand up. Let's save our applause till the end. We got Clyde Jackson, Mr. John Nichols, Dave Crockett, our chair Helen Hughes, our vice chair Rick Unruh, and Lori Johnson. And Mark Ivory was not able to be with us today, but let's hear it for our board. Guys, I could not do it without those two chiefs standing there. If you guys will stand when I call your name. Stephen Horniak, he's our Chief Innovation Officer, and Michelle Morris, our Chief Financial Officer. We're all about innovating and doing the right things with money, so thank you too for what you do. Up here on the stage with us, to my right, I'll start with Chris Brown. He's our Deputy Superintendent. Next to him, we've got Elgin Mayfield, our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning. So if you have any concerns with T&L, there you go. To my right here, the HR man and District Operations, Walter Stevens. To my left, we've got Cheryl Thomas. She leads school operations, all the fun stuff for the district. And next to her, we've got Lasagna Frierson. She's the head of technology in our data and assessment. And next to her, we've got Dana Wiggins, who's the head of student services, our counselor, speech therapist, special education. It takes all of us to make this happen. Let's give them a round of applause.
All right, Mr. Superintendent. So this is your first time here in this role, and we've gotten a little bit about who we've got around the table. Tell us a little bit about Ricky Rogers. Give us your, just give us a little bit of background. we have the pleasure of having you on the board, so I feel like this is a little bit redundant, but there are many in this room, and as you mentioned, I mean, this room is packed with leaders and people in our community who make things happen. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
So y'all really want to know more about Pretty Ricky over here? Slick Rick, there's all kinds of names on Facebook, don't believe them now. Well, I think it's important to know this is my 27th year in education. Let me start with my family, because my wife may be listening. But I've been married for 27 years, and my wife's a school counselor in the district. We're well invested. My oldest daughter's a graduate of the school district. My youngest daughter's in high school in 11th grade. So we're well vested. I hear what teachers and students are saying, because I go home to it every night. And but it's a good thing, and it keeps my pulse on what's going on. This is my 27th year in education. You know, I was speaking to my friend Marcia and Hall over here, and I was like, I cannot believe, I don't know where the career's gone. It's been an amazing journey. And I taught for 8 years. I was 5 years outside the district. How many of y'all remember Rumble Middle School? That was my first year. I taught honor science at Rumble Middle School. Loved it. Great experience. That was back in 2004 is when my family came here. Then I moved over to Huntington Middle, taught there for 2 years. And then after that, I've been a leader since. Assistant principal. This is my 11th year in district office. I've done HR, I've done school operations, done deputy superintendent, and here we are. So it has been, I'm honored and humbled to be here as superintendent. I would have never thought this moment would come. And I want you to know, I've got the students and the staff at the forefront of my mind and good decisions for this county.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And as I mentioned, that was evident at opening session, just the response from the teachers in the room and the excitement in the air as we exited there. So a handful of us, about 10 or 12 that I'm seeing across the room, just yesterday, attended the Georgia Chamber's annual congressional luncheon, where we heard from a number of our federal leaders, and several of them were posed the question about what was the biggest challenge in Washington or at the federal level the businesses could get involved in, and they didn't really have an answer because, as we know, it's very divisive. So no matter what kind of input we're giving to federal decision making, it's not really happening. But Congressman Scott said something interesting that I think everybody in this room can relate to, and he said that in journalism and in the media, our media outlets are so divisive right now, as is a lot of the country, that it's given social media a lot more weight and gravitas when it comes to people getting their news. And we know that a lot of times what we hear in the news isn't exactly the way things are. So the big elephant in the room for you is the news around the millage rate. Can you speak truth to power on what's actually happening with our millage rate?
Yeah, I appreciate that question,
So the
guys.
easy question right off the bat.
All right. Was it our friend George H.W. Bush that said, "Read my lips, no new taxes"? But I believe they did raise taxes, if I remember that right. Listen, we are not increasing taxes, and that's the way it should be out there. The WMAZ just caught a headline and just ran with it, and part of that's because of the way the law is set up that we have to advertise it. The law is set up that we have to advertise it in a very negative way, and it's not the truth. And really, that needs to be changed by our legislators, so we're putting the right message out to the community. Guys, we rolled back our millage 1.464 this past year, which is a tremendous rollback. And the way education is funded, we're funded in arrears. So our CFO and I are analyzing what kind of impact is that 1.464 going to have on the school district. So we can't roll back a second year in a row until we understand the full impact of the last rollback, because we've got to make sure we take care of this school district and this community. Guys, we are 165th out of 180 lowest millage rate in the state of Georgia. There's only 14 school districts in the state of Georgia that has a lower millage rate than Houston County. And look at the quality of education in those school districts.
Yes.
Thank you. And that's what needs to be out in the media. We're 11.719. That's the same as we had last year. And this is an interesting fact. Think about where you were in 1992. Everybody got that? We have the lowest millage rate since 1992. I was sitting in middle school, and now I'm at the end of my career. Our millage millage rate is great at 11.719. And do we hope to lower it again in the future? Oh, yes. Let's find out what impact last year's had, and maybe next year we can do it again. Because those board members are taxpayers. I'm taxpayers. And the thing is, we're not increasing taxes. Some of our home values are going up. But it's almost like the state of Georgia has a good month with sales taxes, right? And what do you see in there? Sales taxes increases 4% this month, right? It's almost as if you would claim the governor and legislators raised sales taxes just because they came in higher. Does that make sense? That's how we have to advertise it. Just because house values went up, we did not increase taxes. We don't assess the home values. We have nothing to do with it. We just set the millage rate. No different than if sales taxes comes in, that's great for our governor and legislators. So please get the truth out there. We care about your taxes. We know what you're dealing with because we're taxpayers, but we are 14 from having the best millage in the state of Georgia with a quality education. And hopefully that law will change one day where we can put the truth out there and not this Houston County increases taxes by 12%. Thank you guys, and thank you for that question.
Yeah, very good. And while we're on the subject of taxes, I'm going to kick to Chris real quick and talk about the East Blast, because the East Blast is not a new tax per se, but it is critical to the success here in Houston County. So can you give us a quick overview of our East Blast and why it's important for our Houston County School District?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say thank you for your support of the East Blast. We've enjoyed having an East Blast in our community since 1997. And that's 6 East Blast cycles if you think of it that way. So we're grateful to our voters year over year, every 5 years, when we bring that to you guys for saying yes to the East Blast. And East Blast is a 1-cent sales tax, and what's great about it is we're able to have a low millage in Houston County because of our East Blast. You've heard it's 11.719, and it's that low because we're able to take all the people that come to Houston County, whether they're staying in hotel rooms or going to the Ag Center or visiting Robins Air Force Base or anything like that, when they spend money in our community, those funds go help support the capital outlay program that we have in our school district. And so it's vitally important. You guys know the growth we've had. You've seen the houses popping up. We've got some industry growth coming to our community as well. And so it helps us as a school district plan strategically and stay ahead of that curve and also take care of our older schools at the same time. So East Blast is critical to our school district and our community as well.
Yeah, and I think we have a quick video to show us some of those successes.
In the Houston County School District, we believe in high achievement for all through continuous growth.
Thanks to the current East Blast, that belief is becoming reality.
From modern classrooms to brand new learning environments, our schools are safer, cleaner, and more inspiring than ever.
Renovations at Westside Elementary, Bonner Middle, and Centerville Elementary, and several other schools gave students like me access to updated technology, brighter classrooms, and more engaging spaces.
Together we can make every school a place where students thrive.
East Blast has transformed our schools with upgraded HVAC systems, new roofs, security cameras, enclosed corridors, and modern technology. Also, we have renovated athletic fields and improved transportation so every student can learn, perform, and compete. Together, we can create a safe, inspiring space for every child.
East Blast helps us plan smart, build strategically, and prepare for the future. From new schools, safety upgrades, and additional classrooms. Still to come in the current East Blast, we're adding a new performing arts facility and renovations to Perry High.
The next East Blast, which runs from 2027 to 2032, will continue this momentum with a new elementary school, additions at Northside and Warner Robins Middle, plus technology and safety upgrades for all schools. Because together, we can build a future that serves every learner.
East Blast is not just a school initiative, it's a community investment. It's about more than buildings, it's about our people. It's about giving every student the opportunity to succeed. It's about supporting teachers like me and investing in a future we can all be proud of. Because in our district, all means all.
Thank you for believing in our mission.
And for helping us build a future.
One school, one student,
One project at a time.
funds so many of those projects, but as a school district, y'all are not able to lead the charge on this. So each year, or each East Blast, the school district, works with community leaders who have expressed an interest in moving this forward. And I know this morning they weren't able to be here with us, but will you share who you've got leading that effort, and then y'all are going to hear a little more from them in our next Eggs and Issues.
Yes, we're very excited to have Steve Williams and Scott Cox is leading our charge for us. So they'll be reaching out to many of you guys to join the committee. They are co-chairs, and let me tell you something, their passion for this community, and like it was on the video and what Dr. Brown said, guys, this is an investment in the community. This is about this room. This is taking tax dollars that come from the entire region and making Houston County better. So we ask, that you join that committee, and let's work together for the future of this school district and this community.
Very good. So Chris, I'm going to stick with you for a second. So I know it's been mentioned a couple of times now about the new Fine Arts Center. That's one of the most frequent questions I get asked as the parent of kids next door to where it's going to come is, when will they start on that? Can you share a little bit about the timing of how East Blast projects work, and then let's roll straight into some of the highlights of the 2027 East Blast.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and make mention on your tables in front of you. You each have a little flyer that we hope you take and use this to share with your businesses and your families of the current East Blast cycle and what we have going on. And the back page is our proposed projects for the upcoming 27 to 32 East Blast. And so, yeah, the timing of those, we try to stay ahead of that. As you will see, this will be on the ballot in November of 25, and that's why we're kicking that off now so that we can start telling everybody that the East Blast vote is coming up, because it will start in April of 27. And so it's important for us to have those thoughts in mind of what we're going to do, because it takes a lot of time to design a facility, to get the CM on board that's going to build the facility, and then we obviously have to start outfitting the facility with furniture and people. And so some of the projects that we've got listed in the current East Blast, you heard from the video that we're going to be doing some pretty significant renovations to Perry High School, some classroom additions there. If you've seen or been down in south end of the county, you know it's growing that way. And so Perry High School is continuing to grow, and so we've got to give them some relief with some additional classrooms. And so we've got in our next East Blast a phase 2 of that, because when you add classrooms, DOE has a rule that you have to increase the cafeteria and kitchen at those particular facilities as well. So the phase 2 will kind of help support the entire renovation and classroom addition at Perry High School. Warner Robins and Northside Middles are our 2 oldest middle schools, and if you compare them to Veterans, new middle school, obviously they were built many years ago, and so we want to go reinvest in those schools instead of going and building brand new schools. We've got, through the East Blast, we'll have funds where we can go and reinvest in those particular campuses so they continue to have that tradition that they've built over time. Warner Robins High School is another one of our older schools that needs some attention, and we have that on our focus for the next East Blast cycle, is doing some classroom additions and doing a renovation at Warner Robins High School to bring them up to the standards of our other high schools. You've heard a lot of conversation about the new STEM Academy that we're in planning phases, and have different community partners with that one. Well, a big part of that is moving our college and career academy that's currently on Porter Road out there as well. And that's going to give those students and faculty and staff an updated facility, newer equipment, so that that workforce that's coming out to you guys has the experience, the hands-on experience needed, so that they're turnkey for you when they get your doors to be an employer for you. And then also we've got lots and lots of comprehensive renovations that we do at our schools. And I will say in our 27 to 32 East Blast, every school in our district is going to be touched in some way. And the major way we're going to do that is through the safety and security upgrades, fire alarm panels, access control, which is our key cards, and then camera software. Our camera software is coming outdated and it's no longer supported, and we've had some conversations with local law enforcement about how we can all integrate together so that they have eyes in our school if we have a terrible situation take place, where they can help support those things. So we want to get on the cutting edge of that technology, and all of that is incorporated in our upcoming East Blast.
Very good. That's a comprehensive list, and we're going to have an opportunity over the next coming months to learn a lot more about the East Blast, its importance, and the importance of us getting out and both spreading the word and voting for that coming up. And so, Dr. Brown ended on school safety, so, it is really hard for me to call you Cheryl. She was both of my children's principal, and she is Dr. Thomas. So Ricky told me I can't call anybody doctor or anything, and so Cheryl.
It's okay.
One of the things, unfortunately, that we hear so much about in the news surrounds school safety. And as the wife of a teacher, I know some of the extensive measures that the district has taken to ensure the safety and security of our students and our teachers. Can you share some of those with us, plans that y'all have implemented that support student safety?
Absolutely. Well, good morning, and thank you for having us up here this morning. As we move out throughout the school year, safety continues to be our #1 priority. I know we have a lot of amazing things going on in our district, but safety is at the top of the list. And we're continuously reviewing, revising, making sure that our procedures and all the efforts that we put in are going to protect all of our students and our staff and our community. One of the big things that we have in place that's a huge piece of our safety plan is our Centegix badges. This is called a panic alert system or crisis alert system. So all of our district members have this behind their ID badge. And if there's an emergency, a teacher that's in a classroom, if they need to see an administrator, they push this button 3 times, and an administrator will be able to see who pushed the button, where they're located, and be able to respond to that classroom for not an emergency type situation, but maybe they need an administrator in the classroom. This is provided to all district employees, so not just a principal can lock a school down. If there's an emergency and someone sees something, they can do something about it. So that's super important. And what I really want to do is take a few minutes. I know that we had an emergency type situation at Perry High School recently, and I do want to publicly thank all of our law enforcement agencies, all of our first responders. What a tremendous response. Everybody responded and supported us. And in an emergency situation, we know that we're protected and that you put our kids and our staff and our district at the top of your list. So thank you so much. And I'd love to give them a round of applause. It was handled tremendously, just amazing. This also is connected to 911. So if we do go on a code red in a building, this is directly connected to law enforcement. So this is a great way to respond as well. So another great thing that we have in place is Anonymous Alerts. It's an app that's provided for all of our parents and our students that if someone sees something, a safety concern or something of an issue that they want to report anonymously to an administrator, they can go to the app and report it, and it comes directly to an administrator through email and also through the app on their phone. An administrator can respond back to that anonymous reporter and get some information back and forth. But this is not only good for just safety concerns, this is also a mental health piece that we put into place that if people have concerns about other students that are having mental health concerns, they can put that in there and we can respond, and Dana's department as well, and student services can respond quickly. And our administrators do respond to those alerts on a regular basis throughout the district. That's been a huge success in our district. We do have our school resource officers. We have 2 at each high school. We also have 1 at each middle school, and our elementary schools share our high school and our middle school SROs, so everybody's covered throughout our district, and we have a tremendous relationship with our law enforcement. They have become a part of our staff, build great relationships with our staff and our students, so we appreciate them, and they keep us all very safe. We have implemented 2, I know I have several things, you can cut me off anytime. Some great highlights that I want to make sure I share. We also have implemented School Dog this year, and what that is, it's an app. It is a data collection tool that collects everything in our district about some great praises on our campuses, but also some concerns. So all of our high schools are preparing to apply for the Ready Georgia Safety Seal of Preparedness. And that's part of a great tool that it shows that everything that we're doing in the district is above and beyond what other districts are doing to keep our district safe. And so this data tool, if they put phrases, great things that are happening in the app, but they also can put concerns, and then we can get with our maintenance department and address those concerns in a very timely manner. So, also we have a district safety committee that we meet a couple times throughout the year. Law enforcement is on that committee. GEMA, our emergency management, locally is on that. District leaders, school leaders, community partners, we do meet, we review our safety plans, we just make sure that we're covering every detail, and we appreciate their partnership. And we also have district, not only district, but safety committees on our school campuses as well. So
that's a lot, and it's exciting to know. It's reassuring to know all of the measures that are being taken, and I want to kick over to Dana now, so if we can get this mic or that mic over to her. One of the other things that was talked about yesterday at the congressional luncheon on a national level is the heightening concern around student attendance and truancy becoming a tremendous issue, not just in our local school districts, but how that translates into the workplace and their ability to even be prepared for the workplace if they're not getting the education. And we know many times that's also where schools are getting, or kids are getting their only meal for the day in some instances. Can you share with us a little bit about the strategies that y'all are implementing to address school student attendance?
Yes, we've had lots of talk in our department on chronic absenteeism, and I know Bethany is here. She and I have had a lot of conversation, and you know, kind of post-COVID is when we saw, you know, a really big problem. Kids were, you know, at home. Families were not really used to the day-to-day after COVID. And so, you know, we just had a lot of talk, and we put some really great things in place in our department. And I know Representative Hickey was here just a few months ago, and he was talking about House Bill, you know, 123. And we were so blessed in Houston County because a lot of things that were already in that bill, we were already doing in Houston County. And so we have kind of a 3-5-8 protocol that we do with students. You know, at 3 they're alerted. It's lots of communication. And is Judge Wilburn, who is our juvenile court judge, sometimes she's here. Is she here today?
I haven't seen her today.
She is amazing, and she has been a wonderful community partner with us. I could not do this, and our team could not do this without Judge Wilburn and Judge Sammons. Just you know, next month we have a huge attendance meeting. We're meeting this year at Houston County High School with our counselors. They come, they tell us their expectation, and Judge Wilburn is not playing. She is really holding these parents accountable, especially our younger kids. You know, it's their parents' responsibility, you know, to get them to school. And we really try to celebrate attendance as well. We're having a big, September is National Attendance Month, and so we're doing a lot of celebrations at schools to encourage student attendance. And I will say, these things that we have put into place just in the past few years, we were looking the other day, and our chronic attendance rate is down 15% from last year. So we are super excited. We know we can't stop. You know, we know we still have to continue to do these things. And with Judge Wilburn's help and Judge Sammons' help, and all of our community partners together, I really feel like we are making way. And we are really lower in the state. Our percentages compared to the state of Georgia are really, really good.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. So Chris mentioned a little bit ago, Elgin, I'm kicking to you about the STEM Academy, and I think y'all have heard that mentioned from this stage and a lot of other stages, because there are a few things that are as exciting as what's happening that we're doing for our county, but also our region in this STEM Academy. And so, Elgin, if you will, I want you to share with us a little bit about the Middle Georgia Regional STEM Academy and the courses that are going to take place there, but also give us a little bit of the backstory on HASP and that role and how we're moving to this new regional model.
Absolutely, thank you. And thank you to everyone for the opportunity to talk about something that's very exciting to all of us. And the group often picks at me about how passionate I get about instruction, and I know that makes me a nerd, but I just can't help it. But one of the things that we're super excited about is with the opening of this STEM Academy, we're going to be able to provide an accelerated education for both workforce and for college readiness, not just for the students in Houston County, but the entire Middle Georgia region. And that's going to be a very innovative approach to education, and we're very excited to be at the forefront of that. As far as the programs that are going to be offered, it's kind of in the name, STEM. If you don't know what STEM stands for, it's for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So as you can imagine, there's going to be a heavy emphasis on technology. We're going to have cybersecurity, computer science. Oh my goodness, we're going to have all kinds of engineering classes. We're going to have all kinds of robotics. Robotics is going to be a major part of this. So for example, we're going to have a robotics gym. We call it the STEM gym, where we're going to be able to host the first robotics competitions, and you're going to be able to see some really cool things. If you ever saw like Robot Wars on Sci-Fi or whatever it was, and stuff like that. And we're going to see some drone soccer. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's pretty cool. But it's this next generation of just tech and how it integrates both into play and into usage for the business and for the government entities. And we're also excited about all the health care that we're going to be able to provide. The health care education for, oh my goodness, for certified nursing assistants, for respiratory therapy, for all these different things that we're going to have through a connection with different schools that we're going to be partnering with, technical schools, colleges, hospitals. We're going to have this there's going to be tendrils throughout this program that is going to allow us to really tap into real world experiences and give these kids an opportunity that frankly none of us had when we were in high school. And it's just so exciting to see what we're going to be able to do for these students. I mean, they're going to get real world experience. Some of them are going to graduate from high school with associate's degrees. Yeah. Some of them are going to graduate from high school with certifications to do things that normally you'd have to go to college for 2 more years to be able to do. And some of them are going to be able to graduate and go to some major universities right out of high school without having to have an intermediary step. So you had asked about the Accelerated Scholars Program. We call it HASP, the Houston Accelerated Scholars Program. It's going to have a home at the STEM Academy. And what that is, if you just want to have a little bit of background knowledge of that, that is an extremely accelerated math and science program that we're only in our 2nd year of having. But it's an incredibly exciting program where what we're able to do is push students further than we've ever done. Our juniors this year are taking, in math, for example, Calculus AB and Calculus BC. If you don't know what that means, that's basically Calculus 1 and 2 in college that they're taking as juniors. And in their senior year, if they follow the program, they will take multivariable calculus and linear algebra, which means those students will be perfect candidates for Georgia Tech, MIT, Caltech, right out of high school. And we're extremely excited about that. One of the things that we hold as a hallmark is that the best and brightest in Houston County are as good as the best and brightest anywhere in the world, and they deserve the same opportunities or more than anybody else. So we want to make sure that they've got that, and we're making sure that we provide that. We struggle and work really hard to make sure that throughout our district, that struggling learner, the student who's having a difficult time, we're working with them. But through programs like HASP and the STEM Academy and the other things that we're doing, we're wanting to make sure that those high flyers, brilliant kids, and trust me guys, I know we all hear the jokes about the millennials and Generation Z. These kids are brilliant. They are brilliant. And we want to give them an opportunity to do things beyond what we were able to do when we were their age. Because guess what? The world they're going to live in isn't the world that we lived in when we graduated high school. So they need to have those strong 21st century skills to make sure that they're successful and can compete on the world stage.
Yeah, that's incredibly exciting, and I'll just take a quick point of privilege. So any of you that were at the Joint Business After Hours on Thursday with the Macon Chamber may have noticed Jack made a big deal about me not being there, but I was moving my daughter into college at Georgia College in Milledgeville, and I am very thankful for the programming in Houston County. She started her freshman year as a sophomore in college because of the AP and dual enrollment opportunities, and she was just in the first HASP group, so she didn't even get the full experience that my son is now getting to take part of. But for parents, that means a year of college that you're not having to figure out how to fund. She's gonna be able to graduate early, which is gonna get her into a CRNA program early and give her an extra year in her life as an adult. And both of my children have expressed how jealous they are of those rising freshmen and sophomores who are able to knock out some of those math and science early. But even if students aren't at the level or on that brilliant spectrum that Elgin was talking about, we have kids graduating from schools in our county, you know, who are certified ServSafe ready to go in and work in our food service. They've got HVAC certifications and all kind of certifications in different areas. So regardless of what your student is interested in, Houston County has exceptional programming, and this is just taking us to a next level and sharing those resources across our region. So it's super exciting. And I mean, Elgin isn't passionate at all, you guys. But I'm serious, we're in great hands, and just the forethought that's gone into paving this path for our students. So Walter, I want to turn to you because with all of these new opportunities, I can only imagine that your job is a little busy on the hiring side, both for the teachers as well as support staff. So if you could just give us an idea about how many new staff members you brought on for the upcoming school year, and really what that says about our district's growth and our ability to attract talent.
Sure. Guess this is not on yet. All right, here we go.
All right, sure. Thank you so much. This is pretty phenomenal. Before I answer that question, let me just ask this question. How many of you remember your favorite teacher?
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal. And that's what we want to really press upon students here in our district by making sure that when we go out and we recruit and we bring individuals into our district, that we're bringing the best and the brightest. So this actually this past year, we actually hired 225 certified teachers to work in our district. So, and to cap that off, we do not have a single certified vacancy in our district this year.
Wow.
So when you hear about teacher shortages and those kind of things, are there teacher shortages? Absolutely. But the community here in Houston County, what we do in our school district, that allows for individuals to want to be here and to really invest in our students and invest in our community. This past year, during this current year, we also hired a little over 100 classified employees as well. And we're talking about our school food and nutrition, we're talking about our bus drivers, we're talking about all those our maintenance staff, all those individuals who also play a very critical role in making sure that every single day in our school district is the very best day for our staff and for our students. So we've done a phenomenal job with that. And not only that, but you know, we also have some very tremendous benefits. And it's interesting because when we do our recruitments and those things, you know, people talk about, you know, where am I going? Can I talk to someone else? And I was joking with Kelly Sykes, who's over our benefits, and I said, this is the last place they stop. But what we want to do is change that mindset. We want them to understand the phenomenal benefits that we offer in our district, because that also plays a critical role in the recruitment as well as in the retention of our staff here in the district. So we have free gym membership, of course, which is great. I need to go to the gym more. But we also have great benefits when we talk about dental, we talk about health insurance, and we're actually adding this year a vision benefit for our employees. So that's going to be super, super tremendous for our staff here in the district.
Yeah, that's incredible. And as you mentioned, you know, a teacher shortage is something I hear from my counterparts often, but as we know, Houston County has a magnetic force field when it comes to recruiting talent, and our school district is leading the way in that. So you mentioned benefits, and then Ricky, I'm going to kick to you because you talked in opening session about all of us think about a starting teacher salary, and you know, historically, you know, it's just a really sad number that we have been, you know, that we associate with those people who are entrusted with our children. But if you could share the starter teaching salary with this group, I think you're going to be very impressed with what's happening right here in Houston County.
Yeah, so we're approximately at 51.5. There we go. We're approximately at 51.5. But let me tell you something. I was thinking about when Walter was speaking. First of all, don't y'all love his suit?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm jealous, man. I walked up, I was like, I couldn't pull that off like he does. But listen, the reason our positions are full, they're all filled, because of this community. It's because of your support of the East Blast. It's because everyone in this room works together for Houston County. It's not because it's just our school district. So that we thank you for helping us fill all these positions. We now have a teacher who's 19 years or more, making over $108,000, so they can make six figures, stay in the classroom. So you don't have to move into leadership because you want to make six, like, you stay in the classroom, follow your passion. And let me tell you, this board over here, although the state did not give a raise this year, they gave everyone a 1% raise and a $1,000 supplement that's coming in December. Christmas time, because we all spend more money at Christmas. And my cities and county in here, we're dumping $4.2 million extra in the economy in December. You're welcome. We'll see that in sales taxes. But guys, listen, on a serious note, we are successful because of you. Please know that. If you don't remember anything else when you leave today, you are the reason this school district is successful, and we thank you for that.
Very good. I know. So, Lasagna, speaking of success, the school district recently earned its Cognia accreditation for the 6th year. For all of you who go through accreditation processes, they are no fun. They're often a labor of love that we do, but they're important to, signification for our district. Can you share with us some of the key next steps or priorities outlined in your accreditation report that are going to help guide continual improvement for our efforts?
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, our Cognia accreditation process is not a one-time event.
Right.
You are not going to shine in that process if you're scrambling at the last minute to pull all of your documentation together for the ratings. It is a process that starts years in advance to that visit. So we started shoring up all of our processes by refining our mission, vision, core values 4 years ago. And we made sure that all of our work, all of our resources was aligned to our mission and our vision. And then we aligned our professional learning to make sure that we're focusing on putting students first, because Cognia, the process is all about focusing on what the learners need, following the data, making timely decisions, and making adjustments based on what students need so that you can see improvement. So it's all about a continuous improvement journey. So we were very, very pleased with our results, because one of the things that we were recognized for was 2 noteworthy practices. And what our regional accreditation evaluator shared with us was that not all districts even received any noteworthy practices. Nonetheless, 1. And we received 2 noteworthy practices in our review. One was the fact that we operate as a district-wide professional learning community, meaning that we focus on 3 big ideas. The first one is that we focus on high levels of learning for all, the students and the teachers. The second one is we embrace a collaborative culture where we take collective responsibility for our students. And the third is that we don't just focus on actions, we focus on results. Are we producing the desired results? And then our second noteworthy practice was that we build leadership from within. So we have our Houston County Teacher Leadership Academy for teachers who want to stay in the classroom and lead from the classroom and support their peers in the professional learning communities process. And then we have the Houston County Leadership Development Program for teachers who aspire to be assistant principals, and we partner with the Gale organization for assistant principals aspiring to be principals. And we have hired many of our administrators through our internal training programs. And then they also identified an area in need of improvement, and we already knew what it was because we conduct walkthroughs and we assess student engagement in all of our classrooms, and that was in the area of leveraging technology to enhance student achievement. And what we noticed when we walked through the classrooms was students, they're using technology, but they're using it many times in isolation. And we want students to use technology to research, to innovate, to collaborate, to be talking about ways that they can use technology to elevate learning in the classroom. So we're going to be continuously focused on that this year, training our teachers on how to use it in a better, more meaningful way for our students. Another area with our cognitive accreditation was that we received what is called an Index of Education Quality Score, or an IEQ score. Every district receives that through the process, and it combines all of the ratings into a single score. And our score was a 338, which was it surpassed that of the network average, which was 296. So because of the teamwork and the work that we invested in early on, we were able to reap the benefits. So the next steps are to follow up on the needs of the areas in need of improvement, and to also continue on our journey of aspiring for continuous improvement so that we are meeting the needs of our students. We're embracing that professional learning community and working together to ensure that Houston County continues to meet and exceed your expectations and make our community continue to shine across the state of Georgia.
That's very exciting. Thank you for sharing. So, I skipped one of my early questions to you. Is something that I love. Every year the school district has a theme, not just for opening session, but it's something that sort of sets the tone for what the year will be about and what's going to be the priority. So if you can share with us a little bit about the theme and how you envision that translating throughout the year.
You know, this theme works perfectly with why we're here today. It's together we can. I want you to think about that for a minute and look around this room. And now I'm saying together we can and together we will. It's one thing you can do something, we will do it. And around this room we're going to work together to continue to make this the best community. And I made a commitment to the staff. Together we can encourage and support one another. We are focused on relationships. It's about the students, and right behind those students are our staff. And that's my commitment. And what I love is if you go in our schools, you walk around, every teacher, everyone has completed their Together We Can, and then they filled in the rest. And it's powerful. So together in this room, we can keep this community strong. We can pass that eSPLOS and continue, because what Elgin just said, the students in Houston County are taking the highest level math and science classes that are offered in the state of Georgia. You don't have to live in Atlanta. You live here in Warner Robins, Perry, Kathleen, Bon Air. We give you the highest level courses. So come to Houston County, because together we can.
I love it. So hang on to your microphone. So in order to achieve these ambitious goals that you guys have set out, and the strategic priorities and the requirements put on us by the state and accreditation entities, it takes money to do that. And this school year, the board passed a $638 million budget. Give us some highlights and specifically what you're most proud of in this year's budget.
Yes, before I talk specifically about this budget, I do want to just lay it out there. We have about $72 million in our fund reserves, and we've heard that's a lot of money. Why are you sitting on $72 million? That pays our employees right over 2 months, that's all. So if we hit a recession, if suddenly we get an email from the state saying we're withholding $10 million from you, that's all we have. We can fund our employees for right over 2 months. So it sounds like a lot of money. It's really not, because we have a $638 million budget. So please, that's something that's been out there in the media. Why don't they roll back the millage again? They don't understand. We care about people. We care about your finances. We care about this community. But we've got to do what's right for this school district. But what I'm excited about, I call this budget the people's budget. Yeah, let me tell you what. I like that. I got a laugh over here to my right.
She's married to a teacher. She's
Oh, there
excited.
we go.
She's excited about vision.
After I was named, I've listened to the people. Elementary principals, what do you need to be successful? Middle school. It's just me and the principals. And then we put it in the budget, and we gave the schools what they need to be successful. And this board over here said yes to every item, because our teachers and our principals needed it. Athletic trainers, APDs, full-time, elementary. You know, part-time media clerks, because of the Chromebooks. You know, stuff I didn't realize. We put it in this budget, because we need to listen to others, and then we need to make good decisions based on what they said. So I can't wait to do people's budget too, because we're going to listen and we're going to do it again.
Awesome. was identified, so most of the people in the room don't have except maybe the hospital, but don't have the budgetary requirements that you have, and the different sources of funding that, as we all know, change, and oftentimes without long-term considerations for how those changes impact your ability to offer the services that you do. But the school district came up with a really unique opportunity to enhance STEM education at the elementary level, and I was going to see if Elgin would like to speak about some of those new positions that have been created and how y'all are doing that.
So, thank you. So it's a really unique idea. So what we've done is we're really trying to innovate. I mean, we have a chief innovation officer now. I mean, we're really trying to think, how do we prepare kids for the future? And that doesn't start in 10th grade. It doesn't start even in 6th grade. We really need to start with them when they are in those beginning years of school, so they can start feeling where this society is going from a technological point of view. So in 6 of our elementary schools, we have a computer science program where these kids are going every week to a computer science class. It hits everybody in kindergarten through 5th grade, and they get to experience the STEM education. They get to experience how a computer works, not for fun and games, well, that too, of course, but for how we actually are productive with it. Like Lasagna said, how do we elevate using technology? How do we enhance what we're doing? And so we're doing that in 6 of our elementary schools. The way we're doing that is, so we have this program in elementary called Specials. I won't get into the weeds too deep, but what happens is you have a PE coach and a para, and that PE coach will have up to, say, 50-ish kids with their para at any given time. Well, as we're not firing people or anything like that, but as paras retire or leave or become teachers, a lot of them become teachers, we, instead of replacing that para, are replacing them with another teacher. And what we're doing is we're hiring a computer science teacher, a STEM teacher for the elementary level, but then we're cutting the number of kids that go to gym in half. In PE in half. So instead of 50 kids, you'll have 25, because now those kids have another place to go, which is STEM, and they love it. I've been able to visit all the classes now and see it in action. It is phenomenal. And we're very excited about this program. It's starting in 6. Hopefully next year it's going to be in more, and the next year it's going to be in more, and then it's going to be in all. And then it just becomes part of the Houston County curriculum that in elementary school you are exposed to computer science and STEM education. And that's going to pay dividends down the road, because then as they roll up into middle school, computer science isn't new, engineering isn't new, technology isn't new, career pathways aren't new. And then as they roll up into high school, you're going to have more and more students that want to take part in the regional STEM academy.
So exciting. That's fantastic. Well, we're almost at the end of our time. I know you've got an event and an opportunity for people to learn a whole lot more and to engage with y'all directly coming up. So if you will share that with us as we start to close out.
If you guys don't mind, if you'll pull out the Meet the Team, you should have that flyer in your packet in front of you. Guys, we're very excited about this. One thing I heard during my listening sessions is folks just want to have access to our board members over there, the executive cabinet team you see on this stage, myself. And so we're having a very informal, just come shake our hand, hug our neck, ask us a question. There's not a hard question. You have a concern, ask us. You have a compliment, give it. We'll take those too. But we're excited about this. And a lot of you in here, you know us. But pass this on to your team, because your team may not know us. Your team may have students in our school district, and they want to meet the assistant superintendent and ask more questions about HASP or STEM Academy. So we've got 2 opportunities. August 26th, it'll be at our Lindsay Student Support Center. We're excited about showcasing that. And Dana Wiggins and her team's working hard on basically just having the whole thing. If you've ever wanted to get in a wheelchair and try to shoot a hoop like our Sharks do, you can go in the gym and do that. The 478 Southside Baptist is going to give out bags of food there. But you really see how we're supporting the whole child, the whole family at our support center. So if you're free, it's a drop-in. We're all going to be in the large, used to be the old cafeteria, but the large meeting room. Our board members, it's your chance just to have a one-on-one with us. So please help us promote this. So August 26th from 4 to 6. And then if you're busy that day, we have a second opportunity. In Perry, we're going to meet at the annex that sits right in front of Perry High School. And what we're excited about this one is it's going to be the same thing, except at 5:30. the Butterflies is our new group, sort of like our Sharks play sports, our Butterflies sing and act, and so we're hitting that side. And it's a special education group, and we love them. And man, there weren't many dry eyes in the opening session after they performed. It was heart-wrenching. And so if you want to see them, come out at 5:30. They're on at 5:30. I'd rather you come at 5 and talk to us beforehand, but they're on at 5:30. And again, it's a drop-in. But guys, our goal is to break down any walls. We're here for this community. We are accessible. We are approachable. We care. And these events are just two examples of if you want to meet us, you have a question, you want to talk to us, please come, because we're here for you. Because again, together we can, and it's about this entire community. Now listen, we've got to wrap up, but I did not introduce my right hand, so I'm going to be in trouble if I don't. This is Jennifer Jones right here, our Director of Public Relations.
Yes.
Let's hear it for Jennifer Jones. She keeps my life and calendar organized, guys, and so I love her, and she does a great job, and I didn't introduce her earlier, so I wanted to, just have a good rest of the day after leaving. But I want to personally thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting our school district, and we need your support as we move forward with the East Bluffton, and just let's do this together, okay? Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Ricky, thank you. Yes, y'all go ahead and give them applause. And I was actually going to shout out, Jennifer, if you are a parent of a student in the Houston County School District and haven't yet downloaded the new app, I told Jennifer I didn't know what high schoolers know because Canvas didn't have a parent access point, and I feel like I'm seeing senior year for the first time, even though we just went through it last year with Abby. So there are tremendous resources, and I can't even imagine the amount of time and sweat and tears that went into getting that app up and running for our students. But it's just further demonstration of the commitment to excellence of our entire school district. And so I want to draw your attention to a couple of events coming up. Our next Eggs and Issues is right on our heels. So September 4th, we're going to be back here for our Livability Eggs and Issues. It really speaks to those things in our community that are helping to attract the talent that you need, the talent that your workforce needs. It's going to highlight some of our community partners who have a huge economic impact currently and in the future. We've got representatives from the Museum of Aviation, the Georgia National Fairgrounds, and the newly named Okmulgee National Park that are going to come and share the kind of economic impact that those have in our community. So that's going to be a great opportunity. We've got a lot going on in October, which is on your table tents, and one event that is coming up that directly impacts this group here on stage is our Robbins Works Outlook. We're hosting that in October, and we're going to have our new Labor Commissioner, Barbara Rivera Holmes, will be here. Additionally, we're going to have our Commissioner of Ag, Tyler Harper, and you think workforce and Commissioner of Ag, but in case you haven't seen or heard about Grand Farms, it's going to have a tremendous impact on how we're raising our future workforce and the jobs that are going to be available, those high-tech jobs, Elgin, that our students are going to need to be preparing for now. So I hope that you will join us. We've got some local panelists joining us for that as well, but that impacts you and your business each and every day, as we know the hiring challenges that many of you experience, as well as the growth that you're having, and we want to make sure that you've got the workforce pipeline you need to continue to be successful. I'm going to ask that you leave your name tags on the table here, on the table outside, and grab all of those materials. Jennifer's team worked really hard to put them together, and there is some valuable information in there that you're going to need in the future. Thank you all for joining us. We hope to see you back here in 2 weeks, and we'll talk to you soon.